Yeah, and all like there's to a certain extent I do like that. I mean, it honestly makes me nervous because I'm so not used to a team that has that arrogance,
Hmm.
and they actually may have reason to have it. I don't know yet, but I thought Allen kind of brought them back to ground level, back to sea level a little bit, and and that kind of set the tone moving forward. And then they finally just got into their normal offensive routine, and then I mean then one thing led to another, and Kyrie was cooking, and then KD was cooking, and then Kyrie was cooking, and then LeVert got involved, and
Yeah.
uh, it was. I mean, it's just yeah. I mean, the biggest similarity that they have to to Golden State or any great team is exactly what you just said earlier, which is that they basically feel like they can go down and it doesn't really matter. And look, like that way of thinking can be super dangerous because some teams let it happen too much. And then I think Golden State got into that a little bit too much, even in that Rocket series that they honestly should have lost without a Chris
Hmm.
Paul injury.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and I think you even see in other sports. I think even like the Chiefs right now are so used to Mahomes just pulling whatever out of his ass and they're them being fine. But
That it causes slow starts. That
yeah, and then sometimes you have leads that become insurmountable and stuff like that. But I mean the thing that gets me the most, and I know this is something that we focused a lot on. I think this kind of almost separates the front office from a lot of the other pods. Is we've been body language doctors a lot, and I think like I think this team looks so unbelievably happy. Like this team's got like the like D'Lo, Damari Carroll vibes, except it has like superstars now. Like it's which you just don't see that often. I don't know.
right.
I don't know how you feel about that.
No, that's it. And that's where, like, not to keep beating a dead horse with this James Harden thing. That's the thing we've been talking about since the summer. For you to gut your team, right? And I don't care what the trade was. I told the fans what I heard about from I wouldn't call it a source, but from my friend who knows shit, that they wanted Anthony Davis. And I didn't like that idea. And the reason why I didn't like that idea is because it would have stripped the team of its soul. I hated it more when we started talking about Beal and Holiday and Harden and I destroyed this guy on Twitter for like 3 quarters who basically like, see, Karis LeVert, that's why we've got a trade for Harden. Harden would have stripped this team of its soul, that happiness, that vibe, that even the thing where someone like a Kyrie Irving, you're seeing him now that he's kind of been inside of the Nets four walls at HSS, that even he's kind of like changed and endeared ourselves to or did himself to the fans, because we have a culture. That culture can withstand. That culture is the thing that girds us, that wall of protection, so that the team and whatever their physical talents are can blossom. And then if you bring in someone who can cause bad feelings, someone who wasn't here, someone who doesn't understand the process of being a Brooklyn Net. Not that that really means anything today. You've got to win things to have like meaning to you, right? But there is a culture, there is a spine, there's a nervous system that that is that the coaching are a part is a part of it. The front office, not us, Sean Marks and his gang, is a part of it, and even the fans are a part of it. We know what our team's the spirit, the soul of our team is, and superstars gravitate to that. Believe it or not, professional basketball players most of the time have grown up in these AAU settings. Most of them were the stars of their teams. But so they just need a little bit of, hey, this is the way we do this is who we are, and this is how we operate. So trading away the people who give that meaning, the work that has been done, the continuity of who we are as people, that would have hurt us. And you would have, and when things get tight in the game, when, for a second there, Boston was up, I never was worried because I saw the first half and KD wasn't KD yet. I know he went into that locker room and was like, oh, really? These are my numbers? Wait to the third quarter. And that's important, man. All of this stuff is important. Even Steve Nash on the sidelines, my God, man. Like, when he got hired, we raved about it, right? Yep. And I said then on that pod that just the most perfect hire for this team in particular. And I said it wrong then. Let me say it right this time. Back then I said Steve Nash at least has the gravitas to be able to say to Kyrie Irving, shut the fuck up. And what the way that I want to update that and evolve that viewpoint is Steve Nash has the gravitas to not have to tell Kyrie Irving to shut the fuck up. Right?
Yeah, I think that's what that.
There's trust there. Because if you're a Brad Stevens, you're going to have to go through a season of making moves for players to go, okay, I trust you. Yeah, you're a guy from, that college, that small college in Indiana. I don't really know who you are. You look like you're 22. I don't know if I should listen to what you're saying. I trust my athleticism. I trust my ability more than your X and O's. Right? No. But in Steve Nash, you have the one coach that they could have hired that when Kyrie is talking about the point guard position or the lead guard position, more like, that you can trust that person has hands-on understanding of how to do that thing. And that sends that message through that central nervous system, through the wiring of the Brooklyn Nets, and it keeps us together. Fuck, man. Sean Marks, you're a genius. That's all I have to say, man. Sean Marks.
Yeah, look, I mean, the only downside that you can take away from today's game, which I think was like semi-intentional anyway, was like the Celtics went big and the Nets went small, and the Nets got killed on the boards, and I think that'll be an issue when they play. If they ever get to play the Lakers, I think the Bucks, that'll be an issue with Lopez and Giannis, and Middleton's a big dude. But I don't know. Even the Sixers scaled back a lot of their size after the Horford trade and getting rid of Richardson and stuff like that. So we'll see. I mean, I think there may be games where they're just gonna honestly have to play bigger. But because my issue is almost less even of size and more of effort. And I thought in the first half they looked like they just didn't care that much. I know Joe Harris came out after the game, and Nash both said that they kind of got hit in the mouth. They used different boxing analogies, but they clearly they slap back in their own way. And,
and that's what great teams do. Great teams get hit in the mouth. Champions get hit in the mouth, and they come back and they stomp you.
Yep.
And but for me, it wasn't necessarily that, because they played good defense in the first half. That's why the Celtics didn't pull away on them. But they just didn't hit shots to me. And I'm the hey, you need physicality, you need to be able to match up. There's big teams and all these other things. I'm worried about Kevin. I'm worried about KD not playing too physically, and that Jaylen Brown play where he slid his foot underneath. Now, those guys are smart enough to know how to make it look like it was innocent, and maybe some people's opinion is that it was innocent. It's not mine. I think everyone on the Celtics sideline understands that if Kevin Durant is on the floor, we have no shot. And if Kevin Durant is healthy all season, we have no shot. We're just here. We're just going through the emotions until these guys come and eliminate us in the playoffs. And so I worry about those little dirty plays. I worry about those little dirty plays when it becomes bigger, more physical guys, and when the games mean more. But that play, and I know some people are going to think I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. I'm not. I'm telling you, if I was sitting courtside with that, I might have charged this, the floor, because I feel like he was trying to hurt Kevin. Maybe not destroy him, but get him off the floor. And you know what? And to a certain degree, I don't blame them. They couldn't stop him. There's such a far, again, they were saying before the game that Tatum and Brown are 1A and 1B. No, they're 2A and 2B. And that's their problem. They don't really have a 1A. We have a 1A and a 1B. And today, I feel like Kyrie was the 1A and Kevin was the 1B. And you know what that's going to do to Kevin Durant's competitive spirit? He's going to get better. This is incredible. Go ahead, Sam.
No, yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, through the first two games, it's like, I mean, it's been the Kyrie show even more than KD. I mean, Kyrie's numbers today were insane.
Yeah,
he's like 30, 34, 6, 8, 7 of 10 from three. Like, you know, it was insane. This is like what Curry did a couple of years ago. Like, obviously if you keep it up, but like, I mean, it was nuts.
Curry had 8 assists tonight. You know, and that's no small feat, because at first people weren't getting shots. I think he's been the best net, but I know, and we both know, that especially when we start getting around some of these teams that just can't hang, that Kevin is going to destroy these teams. Kevin's going to have 40-point nights, 50-point nights. Well, maybe not 50-point nights, because we're just going to be so far ahead of people that, like, this, you know, we're now realizing that maybe Golden State is not that good, but Boston beat the Bucks.
Yep.
You know, and we literally came out in the second half and just flushed them down the toilet. It's incredible to see. Let me point out another thing that I saw Nash do that I appreciated, and it'll lead to us talking about some of the other guys. Nash took out Harris and brought in Shamet because I think Shamet was struggling. They wanted to get him some minutes with Kevin and Kyrie. And what I've seen so far with Shamet is, one, he's definitely a shooting guard and not a small forward. And then two, he's nervous. He's not, his game is not flowing. You know, but at the same time, you know, I'm not sure what to expect from him. He's looking a little bit, he's giving me Crab vibes so far.
Yep.
But I know this kid can shoot. And I think it's just going to take one game that is going to let him loose, and his confidence will build, and he'll just let go of the ball. I'm seeing hesitation in his eye. And I think that there couldn't be a better offensive coordinator that he could be playing under that would cure that. So I'm not worried about him. And I thought it was a masterstroke by Nash to put him on the floor with Kyrie and KD so that he can shoot wide open more often. I don't know how many times they're going to do that, but he can't continue to play like that with Taurean Prince being Taurean Prince. So, you know,
it's Taurean. I was just very relieved at this point when I watched Taurean. I know you're just critical on him, which I understand, but I'm almost getting to the sympathetic angle where when he had that open three that he made, I was just relieved for his sake, because I knew it was like it's like I don't really know what you're there for anymore.
So the mistake people make is they'll they'll look at Taurean Prince and they'll say, he's taller and stronger